I'm Dan,
I'm Nick, folks.
and together we form
We form this group called
the
We're the
Pander.
Unpanders.
Damn it.
That's us, folks. We're here live tonight in your kitchen. You have to listen in your kitchen. General rule of thumb.
It's, I want to say the theme of the day, but that's terrible. That's terrible. I'm an awful person.
That is an awful person.
We're going to teach you how to cook today.
We sure are. Cook up some good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good,
Beverages.
doesn't it? It's an over 21 podcast. Everything we say is a joke, or it's true, or you can't use it against us. It's not legal. We're not binding. It's aren't our opinions, and this is a script. It's all a big joke.
Either fully fictitious or wholly true, which makes it so it cannot be.
Non-libel,
Yeah.
folks. And what we do here is a little something called
Magic.
podcast for the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think of it as.
Yeah, so
I've had people come up to me and be like, "That podcast you did last whatever day was incredible."
Yeah.
They'll touch my shirt and they have beggars clothes and they ask for a farthing, and I always say, "Keep the change, chap." And I flick a silver coin in the air and it flips and lands right in his little dirty little hand. And he's got mittens where the fingers are cut out. It's
Oh.
beautiful.
Mittens where the fingers are cut out.
Yeah.
I was going to say that most people, they start to get really intimate and physical, and then they put on one of our podcasts, and they realize they don't really need sex. They just need philosophy. A heavy dose of philosophy, and they just leave their woman there on the bed, and they say, "I'll be back, honey. Give me an hour."
And then, like Sting, they just think about sex for like 8 hours, and wave after wave of orgasm hits their body
Mm-hmm.
without physical stimulation. That's just called podcasting.
Mm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, happens to me at work.
Every day.
Whenever I listen to this podcast.
That's awesome. Hope your employer gets to see this one.
Yeah. 'Cause I have a little sheet. I just
Put it around the room.
No, it just encircles me. And then
What's going on in there? Glowing light emanating from there.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm the
Mm.
Wizard of Oz. The Wizzy of Oz.
Mm.
So, I don't know if we want to follow the agenda or not. I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I think we can just ditch that if we want.
We can do whatever we want.
Hmm.
So I'll tell you a quick funny thing that has to do with the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah?
So my mom co-signed for all my school loans because I couldn't get approved for them.
Uh-huh.
And I made 50, 60 straight payments. 60 months of payments in a row. Whatever it is. 48. Something like that.
Did they send you like a gold coin or silver
You,
bullet?
no. I still had about 100 payments.
100,
to
okay.
finish it.
Yeah.
Still paying them off. We'll say. We'll put it that way. Patreon would probably take care of that.
Modern day slave, yeah.
Anyway, yes. But she needed to do stuff for her finances, so she was trying to redo her finances, and all these loans kept showing up for her, and she's like, "No, it's my son. He's paid everything off. He's like paying it. He's never defaulted.
Mhm.
I've never had a late payment."
Yeah, but your
But
ceiling stays. Limited ceiling
Right.
and your
No.
value.
This is about her. She couldn't get reevaluated. She
Uh-huh.
had like these $40,000 loans attached to her name.
Uh-huh.
So they were like, we can't approve you this. So finally, she's like calling this company and getting a hold of Sally Mae. Oh, I'll name drop hard. Sally Mae's the worst, dude. Sally Mae can suck my beep. We just like couldn't get a hold of anyone. Like they would always just run you in circles and then click you off. And then like the rule was legally, I think 24 straight payments
Uh-huh.
means you could take off a cosigner if you
Oh,
wanted.
yeah?
And I was up to 48. So like that's like
A while
maybe
ago.
48, 36. It was probably 3 years after I
Yeah.
started paying.
Yeah.
So my mom's going nuts, and she would call and like I'd be like,
Press
I
zero
can't
to
get a
press
hold
zero
of
again.
and then
Again.
they'd be like, we need to talk to the person in charge of the loan. So it was me, and it was like usually Indian people, and I was like always feel bad for them. I was like, Nick Posey, yes, you can talk to my mother. I give her full permission. She's gonna yell at you. Here, that's my mother. Yep, you can talk to her. And she would ask to talk to someone, and the manager was never around. Someone was always around, and it just got to be a thing. And one time they were like, call back. We might be able to get you off. So she goes, and they were like, I'm really sorry, ma'am. We cannot. We do not have authority. And she was like, I just need to talk to someone behind the curtain. And the guy was like, excuse me? And my mom, I'm swear to God, I'm like listening to my mom in the room, and she just lost her mind. She's like, I want to talk to the man behind the curtain. You know, Wizard of Oz? I want to talk to the man who's back there pulling all these strings. And I'm laughing because I can't believe my mom's like telling him the Wizard of Oz thing. And swear to God, this guy's voice gets real low, and he goes, listen, look up something called an ombudsman. My mom's like, excuse me? And he was like, write this down. Ombudsman. Look up your ombudsman. Something. And he said a bunch of words. And he's like, I have to go. And he hung up. And my mom looked at me, and she was like, I was like, we're looking up an ombudsman. And I was like, Mom, what is that? So we Google it, and it's like apparently someone who's to make sure the loan companies don't prey on innocent people.
Uh-huh.
We called them and said, we didn't even get a person. We got the answer machine. We said, my name, my social, or not my social, but my account number from the school, whatever it was. And I was like, I've been paying for this many months. I thought they could take me off, whatever. Did you know 24 hours later, I just got an email and a phone call with a voicemail that was like, we have released your parents from the cosign of the loan and everything. And I was like, I didn't even talk to this person. It was like a super secret code word we found out.
Wow.
But it was just so funny. My mom screaming at this guy who's probably never seen Wizard of Oz. Show me the green man behind the curtain. I want to talk to Oz or something. And I was like,
oh man.
Good stuff, man.
That is... Those people just drive you nuts, don't they?
But it's also not their fault. I mean, it's set up that way. It's a system.
Oh yeah, no. There's a field of these people. They're like grass. They're just springing up everywhere, and they just pass the person to the right. They're like boop, and it's like the next guy that sounds exactly like him with a tweak of a different accent.
And you have to tell the story again, and then he says, "Well, I can't do anything. We'll have to transfer you."
Yeah, it's like 1,000 Indians or just like one Robin Williams reincarnated.
Oh, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, how you doing? I'm gonna commit suicide. Hey! I can say it.
Debilitating disease. He that might have been the better way out. Which that brings me back. Suicide is not illegal. It's illegal to aid and abet people who are going to commit suicide.
No, I'm pretty sure
they repealed it.
I did this experiment in 2002. So you have to check the laws in 2002. They may have changed to allow more lenient suicide laws.
What I do know is that there was that criminal show, or this criminal show, or just criminal show. This is criminal.
Yeah. Our good Phoebe, the podcast. They know.
Yeah,
Phoebe. Good friends.
Yeah,
friends of the podcast.
We know them, sort of. And so she talked about that one lady who would help in assisted suicides, and it was like a team of people. So like if someone felt they wanted to commit suicide, they would call this company essentially.
And then you would never know who did it.
Well,
physically?
the nuance there was that they would tell you all of what was going to happen and how it was going to happen and what to do. They had these like crazy helmets that would just pump in carbon dioxide and you'd pass out. So they could go there, sit there, and talk to them and help them through it, but they weren't allowed to touch or provide anything. So they can watch them commit suicide and help them through it. And most of the times it was like the family was like, this person's in horrible pain, like, and they're choosing to pass away. So the family was there, like, helping and supporting without physically interacting or providing any of the supplies to do it.
It's still crazy. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure how I feel on the assisted suicide. Like, I'm always like, do what you want, I guess. It's not my life, I'm not trying to.
Yeah. Well, I guess most people can't conceive of the pain that would come along with.
I can't imagine a life where that's the way out.
Yeah. Some of those diseases, though, they're like eating your body alive or shutting down parts of your body. Like ALS, I think at a certain point you're just like, if you could just blink and you're about to stop being able to blink, I'm going to try to kill myself with my eyelids.
Keep trying.
Keep your eyes open so that they dry out and then you could die of thirst.
Thirsting through your eyes.
Yeah.
Splash water on him. No, he has a note. He wants to die in peace.
Oh, man.
That's crazy. A little dark.
Yeah. We do go there, though.
Dark. Mm-hmm. We do. Mm-hmm.
So the other, I'm going to start with this one because I had like a small story I read today that was overwhelmingly positive in the comments.
That's a rare thing on the internet today.
Yeah, it was about a daughter providing a kidney to her father.
Oh, that seems pretty positive on the outside.
Pretty positive. But as a father myself, I wouldn't want my son to give me a kidney.
Why? You just need one.
Yeah, but you have limited functionality with one.
So like what? Like your colostomy bag or something, or like you're always walking around, or you got to do dialysis every 6 weeks, or what?
I don't think. I mean, like if he could give me functionality to keep me alive, I would say no. I'd say I'd want to die, and I don't want your kidney because I've already lived life. Like the guy was like 60 or something. So
Yeah,
it's like
that does change it. How old? I mean, but you're saying like your situation, your kid's way too young. Wouldn't you want to like
harvest
borrow
another
his
one.
little baby kidney? Yeah, give me
Yeah.
that kidney.
Your kidneys are too small. That's why I don't want them.
Yeah.
I want a big man kidney. I'm gonna wait till you grow older.
You're not man enough for me. You're that son. You're not gonna be anything.
You punch him in the one kidney that you're not gonna use.
Oh.
But there's reduced functionality, and it's not a pleasant trip. And I wouldn't want to take any part of his life away. And I think by going down to one kidney, it does take your life away. If anything, I would want to save my kidney that has like maybe 10% life left, and say, I'm gonna save this until you're older, and then you can use it. When you've got
put it on,
yeah,
just gonna put it on ice in like a fishing box.
sure. Keep my corpse partially alive until.
Do that, couldn't you, with electrodes or something and ice? I don't know.
You could have blood pumping through it. You probably could. It's probably highly illegal, and they hate it. I would say God hates it, but I don't think he does. I think he'd just be like, you humans, you crazy humans.
That's insane. What a wild one.
I didn't mean for that to happen.
Get a load of this, guys.
So yeah, I was surprised that no one brought that up in the comments. There were no trolls that said, I wouldn't do that. Like, why isn't he giving her a kidney?
She doesn't need one. An extra. She'd be able to filter blood so good.
Spare. Give her
a
spare.
real father. Yeah. I feel much better now.
So you're saying you would take a kidney from your son?
Yeah, if he was old enough and it didn't like affect his life, I'm pretty sure you're fine with one kidney. I'd have to research
I don't
it.
think you are. Pretty sure
Like if you're telling me he just has to go for a checkup once a year to make sure nothing's wrong, yeah, I'm good with that.
Kidney filters like everything out of your, I won't say blood, but it also filters out to produce urine. So it's filtering out all the contaminants.
That's right.
Yeah. So like you have limited filtering ability, which would seem like it might not be like scientifically provable, but it's got to be a damaging thing if you overdo it on the toxins.
Just make the other one work harder.
Yeah.
With the advances in technology by my kid's time, that he's older,
I'll make him
they'll
another
be able
kidney.
to grow him a kidney. Yeah, they could grow him.
Well, they have the same thing with stem cells and like cord blood and all that stuff. Like they can harvest it from your children, and then they can inject it back in your children if they have some sort of disease. But they probably could do it for you, so you could have more children, so that you could harvest them. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Someone was making jokes recently, and I'm sure it's conspiracy theorists, but a lot of the multi-billionaires, like the Koch brothers or the Koch brothers, no one knows, and a bunch of others, and Jeff Bezos, and someone else started like talking more recently about the blood of young people has been mentioned, and I was like, who cares? It's a coincidence. Someone was like, no, the uber rich are harvesting the blood, youth blood, to make themselves younger. And I was like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And I was like, but theoretically, it might work.
Joe Rogan had a podcast about this. He did it himself.
Hold on. What, he did blood doping, his own blood?
I wouldn't call it doping.
No, the blood doping is where you inject your own blood into you.
No.
Is that what he did?
There's like so your body has stem cells all over it, and you can synthesize them. I'm having a bad day. Synthesize them into more stem cells. So like the older your stem cells are, the older you are, and the slower they multiply. So like if they harvest it from an old person, then you only have like maybe like 100 stem cells at the end.
Sure.
Well, like a younger person, it multiplies that much faster, so you get like 1,000. And the younger you get, the faster they multiply.
Sure.
So like the blood of the youth multiplies down to like billions of stem cells.
Boom.
They inject it.
A few.
And then it heals you. It heals you in the way that they become new, fresh cells, and then they also secrete this thing. I don't know what it's called. The juice of the stem cells. It causes other cells, regardless of their age, to respond like they were younger. So Mel Gibson's father was on Joe Rogan's podcast, where they were talking about him. He was like 93, 7 years ago, got stem cell injections all over his body because he was about to die, and now he's 100 and something, and Mel Gibson says he's in fantastic shape. So, stem cells. Who knows?
The human body used to heal and fuel and propel the human body. Who would have guessed?
Yeah. Bodies are good for bodies. Huh.
It makes sense, I guess, because we've been looking for magic mushrooms and herbs and spices and drugs that we can create in a lab, but really maybe the answer's in here. In our organs.
Our replacement organs in a clone.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was my kidney story. Stem cell story. That was 2 stories in one.
Sure was.
Yeah. You want to talk about redemption? This is
sure.
Off topic, so I don't follow the agenda at all. So there's 3 things that are so redeeming this week that came out. 1, the Fire Festival.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is the only negative I got from that is, who was the guy responsible? You got his name?
Who cares about him?
Isn't he the one that's getting sued for?
Yeah, he's
jail
going to jail
for 20 years, right?
It's like an Irish name, I think. McFarland,
like
Billy McFarland. Look at that.
Is he like a record producer or something?
No, I think he did something with software and then decided to make a card. So he made a luxury card which would let you into like VIP areas. It wasn't a credit card, and he paid like $250 for it or some absurd amount. It was called the Magnus card or something.
Now, did you have to have a Magnus card to go to the Fire Festival?
No.
Is that
no?
Oh, okay.
No, he just made it so that it was like an ultra elite, preying on like people who are dumb enough to think that a card will let you into all various places. And yeah, so that guy decided that he was gonna.
Sounds like an old dog.
This old jingle, yeah, damn jingly dog.
Someone needs some stem cells.
It's too. I don't think you can get any stem cells from this one. But yeah.
I'll donate one. Just
I
one.
wonder what percent that is.
One stem cell, please. Coming right up, sir. But anyway, sorry.
That's all right.
Our man, Mr. McIntyre. Where's his name?
McFarland. Billy McFarland.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for that dog to get closer so I can snag its chain off its.
You're gonna snap its neck live on the podcast?
That'd be terrible. I wish I had a stuffed animal.
Brought live.
Yeah, I wish I had a stuffed animal and just be like.
I'm telling you, I think the audience needs me to hold this baseball card.
No.
I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna hold it.
Hold it. You played it.
I know. I was waiting for the dog thing to happen. I figure I had 30 seconds. Ooh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Figured out my smart smile, but go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Billy McFarland. So he had the Magnus card. It was a bunch of bullshit. And then he set up this festival knowing that it would cost more, take more time, and that the price point was way off.
So he was purposely sabotaging it, almost?
Mm-hmm. And he was signing up these people to play, like all the artists, and he never gave them any money. He never gave them any money to build anything or set anything up, and he had like limited crew, and it was in an island in the Caribbean for what they say were rich kids.
Yeah.
But like the price was like, so the price points were $250,000 for a specialty pass, which I don't think anybody paid.
On. So wait, all these kids that were stuck eating
cheese sandwiches,
and like peeing in like porta potties and stuff, like living. They paid
like
$250,000 to live like regular inner city kids,
yeah.
And they were screaming and crying about it.
Yes.
I love that. That's super justice. In a way, is this one of the only instances where every party lost and it's okay?
That's what I was thinking.
Good?
The one drawback is that I read that the price point was originally $12,000, but most people paid $1,200 for a 2-week vacation in the Bahamas to listen to artists. So it's like that's more reasonable until you look at the infrastructure of the island or the people producing it or the fact that they didn't really have anyone coming or that you had no hotel, you had no way to get there.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So that was the first redemption. Is that guy sentenced to like multiple years in prison?
Well, someone said the only reason he got in trouble is because he did it to rich people.
Yeah, because
Like
he
if he did it to poor black kids in like a rural, I almost said rural urban community, like he probably would have
rural
gotten away with it in a rural community, like a bunch of
hillbillies.
yeah. But if he had done it in like inner city in like a bad area, I feel like he probably would have gotten away with it, and they'd be like, he's a big ticket producer. It just didn't work out for these poor kids.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's the only downer, I guess. And I don't know that that's true, but it's pretty cool that he did get busted for 20 years. And
Yeah, he got
so
busted for like wire fraud, which I guess he was sending money somewhere.
they never get you for the actual crime. They get you for moving money.
Mm-hmm. It's the Jared from Subway thing. It's like we have him on tape saying he did exactly what
Oh,
this
right.
awful thing is, but
Wait,
it was
buying child
indirect
pornography?
child porn. Yeah.
Hmm.
We busted this
I
other
know
guy
it's
that
disgusting.
showed that he had child porn, and it was like, oh, we got him finally. We were waiting for this piece of evidence. It's like, you dicks. You were just waiting for a slam dunk.
I mean, they have to though. Can you imagine if they moved on it and they
And they
kind
failed.
of
Couldn't charge him again.
up? Right, because then you can't charge him for the same thing, and now he's on to you. So it's like,
It's literally like playing basketball and you sitting on the bench and you're waiting until they pass the ball on the offensive side and no one's there. And then you come off the bench, pick up the ball, and just it was like and you
but
celebrate.
like you have to have that open shot because if you imagine if you miss like a
Oh.
terrible like a game-winning shot, like it's like, ooh, you forgot to read Jared your Miranda rights. He's free to go, and he's like, and he's carrying them big old pants, and he's going for your kids, and it's like,
Oh my god. That you're gonna change what the hell is that? Pac-Man? All the ghosts are gonna be giant pants.
yeah.
Oh, she's
Good
back.
night, babe.
Oh, that's so polite. Do you think she
I
did that
love
because
you.
she was bitter? I love you too.
Love you so much.
Intense. So I said there were 3
Oh,
redemptions. I don't know if it's taking too much time. It is a list.
it is.
I guess once I hit 3, it's a list.
It's a list.
Martin Scarelli or whatever his name is.
Yeah, what about him? What happened?
They took his
He busted
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
They took it?
They declared that he had to pay, I guess, reparations or something. And then they had to take his Wu-Tang because he didn't have any money.
Did he
Technically.
make copies of it?
I'm sure he did. I don't know if he
Hold on,
distributed it.
here's what you gotta do. So he, if I'm not mistaken,
He was the
well,
dick. He was a super
oh,
dick.
oh, he let's start from the beginning. He did the AIDS drug thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has pharmaceutical
So there's a
companies.
drug for AIDS. He was one of the only companies who had rights to it, proprietary rights. Like he, it was patented, I guess, the
Mhm.
drug.
Yep.
So he jacked the price up 4,000%.
Yeah.
So if it's like $18, now it's 390. No, that's bad math.
That's
It's like
terrible.
$3,940.
Yeah.
Right. For you to stay alive, to take your anti-AIDS drug. And nothing changed with the drug. He just figured no one else makes it. This is a life or death thing. I can cash in here. Correct?
Pretty
I don't know if
much.
I'm right.
Pretty much. Yeah, what a jerk. He was trying to milk
So
it.
he became a millionaire, billionaire off of jacking up the price of drugs for AIDS cure. Not cure, but prolongment,
I
whatever you
think
want to
the
call it.
weird thing there is that I think he gained his money through some sort of like stock trading. Like he was like a hedge fund manager or some BS. And like he was defrauding people there. So he took defrauded money to buy the pharmaceutical company, which then defrauded more people. So it's like,
That's pretty, whew.
it's hard to follow the waterfall of bullshit, but that guy's full of it. So
Mm.
you're going to get him on something, but it's not going to be the whole scheme. He's still going to have like millions stashed away somewhere.
Right, somewhere. So he and then in turn bought the Wu-Tang album that they
Mhm.
released to one individual.
Yeah, they
Who's
put it
a
on
nice guy.
auction.
And only he had access to it. My question is, if now he's losing access to this, the only way to combat that is to make millions of digital copies and just spread them all over the internet and
Yeah.
say, here it is.
I'm sure a federal judge will just declare that it needs to be burned in a fire, and then you're just like, oh, no. We'll never
Doesn't-
find out.
I guess Wu-Tang doesn't have any say in it. Are they allowed to keep any copies of their own song? If they sold one copy and you were buying the only copy?
That would be hilarious. They'd have to like remove all their digital copies off their computers and whatnot. They can't listen to their own music.
Well,
They
that's
can't
what I
play
mean.
it.
So if they were selling it as the only copy, do they have to do that?
I wonder what the contract would look like.
That would be so crazy. And how to prove it.
You can't hum it along in unison together.
If several of you are in a room together, there will be no humming of the unreleased Wu-Tang album. Did you hear me?
It'd be like one of those like Jimmy Fallon skits where they play on all sorts of crazy instruments, children's instruments.
They're playing on like beer bottles,
Ukulele.
and stuff.
Makes me feel real good.
Do you have a third redemption song or whatever the hell it is?
Oh yeah, I do. This one's real simple. 50 Shades, the third film came out, and I didn't have any clue whatsoever, and I was forced to watch the first two. 50 Shades freed, and
I
then
didn't see the second one.
it's a load of
probably
crap.
bad.
There's just so much crap on it that even the people that are diehard fans are like, oh my god, this is what we came to.
Yeah, I don't think the movies are doing that well. But what? So the third one was in theaters?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. I was checking theaters, and there was like one showing of 50 Shades, and I was like, what? Apparently it came out for Valentine's Day.
Oh snap! Did you go? Wait, you're saying
never,
you went or
I
didn't
never
go?
saw it. No one ever knew about it because it was such garbage.
Wait, so the third one went like straight to DVD type deal?
Almost. I think they just had like one showing in each theater just to prove that it was a trilogy. Like we had a trilogy.
The same actors and actresses and all?
Yeah, the people that had no emotion and no fire whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't like them.
Hmm.
Although my girl tried to get me to read them all, and I read, I want to say, 40 pages of the first book. It's just very...
You're trying to find the fetish you like.
Maybe, but it took more than 40 pages. And the writing is just very... Is bad the right word?
Terrible.
No, I mean, because, listen, to actually write a book, I give anyone credit. Even people write short, erotic little fan fictions and all that, and they suck or whatever. But to sit there and write a whole book, has a beginning and end. You got to have an editor, producer. Like that's a full-time gig. Like I give you props to even do it. So I won't say it's a piece of shit because like you could read something someone writes on Reddit or something. That's a piece of shit. So she's an author. She wrote something. It's probably more than I'll ever do with my life as far as go get 'em and attitude. It's poor. Is that the right word? It's not good.
What, limited vocabulary and repetitive?
Yeah, and all the tropes and themes were all done out before. Like, yeah, we've seen this all done before. You're just inserting crazy sexual themes to make it seem edgy, but really it's the same story over again. Just kind of boring. Kind of isn't going anywhere.
Kind of like a novel that a computer should be writing now. Some AI would be write smut.
Jeez.
I need to
Do we want AIs to write our smut? I don't. I want something...
Maybe the AI is going to think of every possibility. And then you're going to be like, oh.
That's just it. I think they'll miss a few. Like you don't foresee a future where it's
the
like
intense
AIs
passion and
write our
emotion
smut.
of having sex. Like an AI will be like,
I
Completely.
came at her. It was so hot. I jizzed like all over, and it's like whoa!
I thrusted myself into herself.
She was having like so many orgasms, man. I like how we're like making AI sound like nerds.
Oh, maybe it is human.
Maybe. No, but I'm thinking like humans always have what's the cool thing humans always have the AI don't in like the movies and dark future stories like
Creativity,
we have,
flexibility,
yeah, like that human spirit. I don't even know what it's called, but that's what we got.
stick-to-itiveness.
Stick-to-itiveness. That's what we got. Computers don't got no stick-to-itiveness, honestly.
I will say, last time we were talking about injuries and how certain people were
Injury prone.
Injury. You said beefiness, the opposite of prone. I'd say
Right,
resilience
right.
is what we were looking for.
Resilient.
Yeah.
Did we just say?
I don't think we said
injury
resilience.
beefiness? We didn't say resiliency. Was it later in the episode? Were we drinking?
No, well, yeah, maybe it was, but I did write down to remember that was a clarification. I wrote beefy resilience, and when I looked down, my E's kind of turned to O's, and my F kind of looked like a T, so then it looked like booty resilience. And I thought, that'd be great to have if you're going to prison.
Booty resilience.
Yeah. Like if it was like a chastity belt for your butthole.
I see where we're going here.
We're going to chastity belts. That's a good that's a good segue.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it
So
Sagoo?
what is a chastity belt?
So there's a whole bunch of myths that went around.
I've heard of what they are. I know what they do. They keep you from having sex or erections.
Yeah.
Is it a real thing you can buy? Is it made of plastic? Is it leather? Is it like a? Does it work?
The ones
Can
that
you just wiggle out of it?
you
I
probably
know
could
you
slide it
stumbled upon this by
left and right.
accident.
Yeah, but I was reading about it
Okay.
today because I was like, for some reason, chastity belts. Boom. Let's look. So yeah, these things are like it's like
This sounds
imagine
like years of research, by the way. Okay.
I have this finely crafted leather-bound book that you can buy for $19.95. Check it on
Just
Amazon.
1995, dude. Sounds like the original print. You might as well charge through the roof for this. But God.
It's,
So what are they really?
it's called Watch Your Cornhole, Bud.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah. So it literally looks like a shark's mouth. Like you got all the teeth, and like it would go right over the VJJ vagina. I had to say it because I can't.
Oh, dude, I was thinking of it for dudes.
Well, dudes have this. I don't want to.
That's what I thought, like a cage, like the wiener cage. That's what I
So
thought you were talking about.
I'm getting there.
there's
I am
ones for
getting
women,
there.
too. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm not an expert. I just know they exist. I don't know
Well,
the materials.
like men could figure out a way to get out of it. It's women that were
That's what I
trying to
mean.
protect themselves, or men trying to protect their women.
Couldn't women just wiggle out of them or take it off or something? Like, how does it stick to you?
That's the thing is I don't. That's why they think they're
There's something where I
fictitious.
wasn't-
I don't think you could work it because
Right.
you could slide it left or right. There's no way to like fasten it to your hips.
Human body. In
Yeah.
fact, the hips are bigger above, like, the private area, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you couldn't lift it above. I get that, but
You could shift it. Yeah, there's no way. It's too much. There's too much
Anyway,
meat
go ahead,
around
go
that
ahead,
area.
go ahead.
But the one I
Right.
saw like had one for the vagina and had one for the butthole. That was the same thing. It was like a something like
Teeth?
TT looking thing. And I was like, you can't wear that for a full day. Like you can't. How do you wipe? You can't wipe.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Hmm. So people who use chastity belts don't wipe. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, it's the prison defense, right? It's getting
So,
encrustable.
You don't wipe. Mhm.
Yeah. You're gonna get an infected penis by trying to go after that butthole. Cutting right to it.
How far into the episode are we? We got right there. Beating around. We didn't beat around that bush. We went right into it.
oh,
I mean,
oh man, chastity belt bush right there.
what about the male chastity belt? Because that's originally what I thought of. Because I didn't
Yeah.
realize.
So they have like the thing of them now is that they're BDSM, right? Which is I don't even know what that stands for. Sadomasochism. I don't know what the BD
Bondage,
and
sadomasochism.
there's a D though in there. Right? It's a
Yeah, I know.
BD.
I didn't know. I couldn't think of it real quick. So
Oh, it's just
domination.
kinda- Domination. There you go. So it's like they have one for men where if you get hard, like the end of it has like spikes on it, so you're like, oh, and then you stop.
Awesome. Can you imagine if no, you would get even harder, and then it would
Some
spike
people
through
would.
your- no. Yeah. And then it would spike through your wiener. This sounds ridiculous.
I think it
I'm not
would.
saying.
That's the whole goal is that is like you have give a bodily
You know
function
someone's wiener?
that someone else is trying to enforce pain on you because that's the domination part.
It's not pain. It's an injury. I'm pretty sure BDSM doesn't have to do with people getting cut in half or
Hmm.
losing limbs, including wieners.
So there's so many black holes on the internet, and I fell into one today, and I clicked on this page that had chastity piercings. So literally, someone
It was
had
a permanent body thing that couldn't let you have sex.
the one I saw was literally a lock that was pierced into a person's penis,
Into?
into their penis. So you can unlock it and take it off if you wanted to have sex, but if you didn't, you slide it right back into the piercing hole and.
I really thought the podcast was going to be happier. See, there's like weird things that make you squeamish in weird ways.
That's what bothers you the most?
It's just
Do you
well,
feel
that
uneasy
and,
about
like,
that?
when
I feel
people-
uneasy.
Like if people get metal tubes, like if someone got impaled in the stomach, I think that would make me feel really queasy too. Don't ask why. I think of
Hernias.
no, the movie where they all die and then death comes back for them.
Like Final Destination?
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Jeez,
look
you
at
were
that.
like acting like it was a crazy movie. You're like, this sounds bizarre. Yeah, because there's one where like all these pipes impale this dude who's driving.
Mm-hmm.
Like that makes me feel like when I see that I feel sick, and then when you describe that,
It's on the
I'm not
same
feeling
page.
it.
No, I'm
So
I'm with you. That's awful.
so I'm not feeling it. I feel like that's the opposite of sexy. And I guess everyone has a thing that's sexy, but locking up a wiener
Yeah,
or a
those.
vajay, like nah, man, let them breathe a little bit. This
Yeah,
is I don't like it.
this is a new millennia here. Let them roam free. Let them
Do
have
you
the
think
consequences.
do you think like fetishes and stuff change over generations?
I can't imagine people 100 years
I
ago
can't
having
imagine they
these
can.
fetishes.
Right. Or could they? So wait, they didn't have the internet. Did they like how did they say like big booty black chicks who like old men? Like you know what I mean? Like it's like, whoa, where did they go for that?
Hmm. They had like
Like
one in the town, and
oh
they're all talking about it, and the one guy's like, "Oh
that's my thing.
yeah."
I mean it's not my thing, but where would you find this thing? Ye old cornfield, my friend. Oh yeah.
That's the one thing they were talking about chastity belts is that most of them were claimed to be around the 16th century, and none
Big.
of them actually were. Like all the relics were from the 19th century. So it's
Mm.
like maybe in the last 100 years people had the same fetishes, but
Mm-hmm.
400 years ago, no. People, I don't think people were thinking about it.
Yo, people could have had dragon. I just thought of something.
Yeah.
No, fetish is probably. It's not like our fetish need has gone up or down in the past 100 years, has it?
More free time feeds a fetish, maybe.
I guess that would make sense. So we have more free time now. We have more fetishes.
Yeah. Blame the Roman Empire for free time and fetishes.
I blame the Roman Empire for everything. Let's let's actually dabble in our last subject of the night. I
Oh,
know
you're
you
gonna skip
tried
right
to
to it.
avoid it. I was going to because you know what? I think they're important to me. I think they're important to you.
I
I
was
think they're
done.
important to everyone at home.
Do you want to do a smirk or smile? Did you have one? Just I don't. I know you
I
thought of
did.
one.
It's probably going to cut into it. You're trying to cut out the whole episode so that
I.
I only have this.
Oh yeah.
Well, folks.
Oh, you bought a new one.
No, this is the same one. This is
Really?
this is my baby. This is my beauty.
Oh, really?
So see
I
this
haven't
bad
seen
boy?
this one before. It looks new to me.
It might be new to a lot of people, but anyway, gold hardware. She's a pretty 5 string. Anyway, I bought this a while ago, but I don't treat it the world's best, but I treat it as good as like I treat her pretty well, right? You know what I mean? I smack her, I give her the business, I give her a little this, a little that, you know, where
Hmm?
around when I started doing stuff with my band, the it's got two active pickups right here. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm jealous of looking at that. That's sweet.
Humbuckers. Well, there's two switches on here, right? One, two.
Did you figure one out?
One turns. No. One turns on just this one. One turns on just this. There's a way to turn them both on, and it's both passive. So it's badass. Right, like a week before I did my live show with my band,
Mm.
the one went, and I couldn't do active on the back one,
Oh.
and I was like, that's weird. And then like it started acting weird for passive, and I was like, maybe I broke it. You know, it was very expensive. It was so 6 months later, right now, I de-stringed her. I took off all the strings. I did my thing. I was cleaning off the fretboard, giving her a little polish, breathing on her. You know what I mean? Giving her.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
actually opened
Rub
up the
down.
back, and I was looking at the wires, and I was trying to figure out what was wrong with it. So I'm tightening everything. I'm playing with all the buttons. I googled how to fix your switches. I googled what your wire should look like. How do I solder? Like I'm googling everything. I'm ready to solder here. I'm ready to go to town. I'm ready to. I've never done any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of gave up because it seemed like a lot of information all at once. I cleaned her up. I put the new strings on. She looks good as shit, may I add. Tightened everything as best I could. Put it back on. I plugged her in, and both pickups work fine. And I was like, "Damn, something was just
Is it a new
loose."
battery?
And taking it. No, it wasn't the battery. That's happened to me before. But Nah, something must have been loose on the inside, and when I took it apart and looked at it and tightened everything back up and put it back together, it
Sounds
must
like
have fixed it.
a wire is fraying.
So anyway, I got active pickups, passive pickups. I got pickups for your mother. I got pickups for your father. I'm Pickup City, and I'm so happy. It's like I got a new bass. So that's what's up.
I'll give you that. My son pulled off my guitar in the background there. That my old Ibanez from 8th grade. And like all the strings on that are like semi-rusted, but it still works. It's a little bent, it's a little chipped in parts because I, dropped it. I held it over my head like rocking out, and it hit a fan, so it was like, and then there's a lot of dents and stuff on it. But I was holding it, and he was playing it, like trying to strum it, and I was like,
right, they just hit it. They usually hit it as hard as they can. The harder, the more they think they're doing better.
But there's definitely something there. There's a nice I don't know. There's a feeling that gets evoked like right around like this area. Yeah.
Musicmanship.
It's like exhaling, but you keep exhaling and just meditating on it almost. So it lets out something innate, primal.
My kid does it on the stupid ass drums back there. So.
He hits the tom, I think.
Okay.
Well, hi-hat. That's all he does. He loves it. He loves it. I love it too.
So is the episode over and we didn't even get to talk of the day?
I don't know. Depends. Are you going to be guilted by your girlfriend?
Oh, no. She's gone.
Okay.
She's dead.
Finally.
I helped her put on a helmet.
She
pushed all the buttons herself. She breathed in all this carbon dioxide.
You're going to have to talk a little louder. We haven't... Oh, she's thinking about it. Oh, here she comes again. But yeah.
A female or a dog?
A female. Well, it is a female and a dog.
Ooh.
She knows that she's sitting right there looking at me. She's guarding everyone in the family by taking the point position.
Folks, it's International Women's Day.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be the first to say it because I care about women more than anyone else on this podcast.
I don't know if that's true.
You don't know that it's false, though?
I will say, I will rebuke your statement with a factual statement of my own. I was so kind to women.
It sounds like the most sexist thing I've ever already. But good.
Yeah. So the women in my office had an International Women's Day, so they bought donuts and everything for everyone in the office that was a woman. And it was only me and one other guy that were mentioned, emailed to say, we know you're not a woman, but you're so nice that you can have a donut as well. So I naturally was like, jackpot, I'm going to grab myself a donut, went over there, took the pink one, and I was like, awesome. This is the best donut I've had all day.
There was no chance in hell they thought you two were getting the fattest of all the men in the office. Not were the fattest.
Yeah, we can't look better than them. That's the problem.
Okay.
I don't even know the other guy, but I know I'm fantastic.
So you should have studied the other guy to find out why they messaged.
I'm gonna have to stalk him. Yeah, that's what.
Because if he looks real weird and nerdy, then they were thinking you're weird and nerdy. If he looks like Fabio, holy shit, dude! They think you're Stud City. They wanted you to show up. You got to know who the other guy is. He's your your answer.
Either he's my comparison or my what's not a doppelganger, but what's the opposite of a doppelganger? So someone who's
I was going with the other way. One's a control group. Yeah. One's the X Factor, huh?
Yeah, I'll take the X Factor.
Your nemesis. Yeah, I think it's the word.
But what really happened is I got them donuts on Wednesday, and they felt sorry because I gave them donuts before. I'll be honest.
In you. Had it in you.
Oh, you did. I was basking in it. I was feeling pretty good.
Anyway, quick shout out.
Women. Yep.
This podcast. No, this podcast is often man centric. I feel like. I don't know if it's my testosterone rubbing off. I apologize to all the ladies. If you want to come, slip into my DMs, give me a private message. Maybe you want to snap me. Maybe you want to give me a message on somewhere where it's real private, no one else can see. Yep. Feel safe doing it.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, I have eminence. My vibes are just going everywhere. They don't really understand physics, but quantum physics is a real thing. And it
happens quick, ladies. It happens quick.
Yeah. All the way across the room.
But anyway, the unpanners would like to give a shout out to broads, dames, dolls, floozies, all them misses, lassies, all the gals, trollops, sluts,
Oh,
harlots,
trollops.
doxies, honeys, chicks, bimbos, babes, moll skirts, a biddy, and all them ladies. That's just how we are here at the Upmanners.
Oh, trollops. You know, the only time I ever heard trollop used was against Ariana Grande, and I swear it was an older woman. An older woman was like, "I
I
hate
had
that
to
trollop."
say, no one's gonna say trollop. It's
Yeah.
underage.
Like what? What would you say? It's like 1920s, 1930s? I don't even. I never existed during that
I
time.
want to say 40s, but I don't know.
I feel like that might have been always a thing.
That flapper, floozy, and trollop were all in there.
Flapper,
I don't know.
floozy, trollop.
I do happen to know where dames got its start.
Oh yeah,
13th century France.
dames in French. In
Well,
France.
because a dame means a ruler, a feminine ruler. So it was originally a term of like honor, and it became a term of endearment, and then it came to replace women.
Huh. You know, trollop.
Broad.
Whoa.
Oh, go ahead.
I looked it up. You know how they have that like word usage on Google?
Sure.
I put in trollop in it. Its highest usage was back in the 1800s for some reason. I don't know how they know that, but it spikes in the 1800s and back in the 1900s, and then everywhere else it kind of fades in the 1950s and then regains its form in probably late 1999.
Interesting.
Regains its form in trollops, man. I have a thing for trollops.
Broads is popular. It comes from 20th century England, I believe, for broad hips.
Oh, really? That's the definition is the
Yeah.
broad hips?
Well, it was
Broad.
one of broad hips. Broad. Interesting, right?
Yeah, it's something you use every day. You never thought it actually meant something.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And I don't use it every day. Literally, it's like that was the worst statement you
Broads.
could say. You're
Look
like
at the broads,
something
broads.
you use every single day,
Something
every 3
you
hours.
use
I'm
every
always
day,
like,
Nick.
Hey, broad.
How you doing, broad? I'll just use that tomorrow.
Shout out my ex-friend Ryan, who used to call every girl broad. No, not the Ryan you know, but like
Yeah.
my ex-girlfriend, like who I dated for like 10 years.
Yeah.
One of her good friends' husband now, but Ryan, like he was always like calling girls broads, and I always thought it was funny.
Yeah, they did the same thing in college. I had a group of friends that would always say, "You broad," whenever they talked to a girl.
And I was like, and you're either gonna get slapped or endear yourself to women.
Yeah, well, it's like chopping the block, you know,
fun.
you're understanding.
And it's also funny, right? It's there's different ways to say it, right? It's all about how you say it.
Yeah, that guy
And
was
who
about
you're
6'4", so he wasn't gonna lose.
Makes sense.
The smaller you get, the less you can pull off the bullshit.
The move.
Yeah.
Hey, broads.
Yeah.
Vern Troyer. Hey, broads.
Yeah. Well, I guess it starts to get inverse when you get that small.
Actually, yeah, because that's probably cute and funny or whatever
Yeah.
he does it.
Damn, I'm average height, and it's never worked for me because I've never
So
used it.
So here's a question for you. Did you do your study on women authors?
Sure, I
Okay.
did Jane Eyre, and I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I didn't do any research.
So hold on. So I looked up women authors, and it literally, as I'm going
Jane
through the
Austen?
list, I thought, yeah, they're the worst.
Pride and Prejudice?
Yeah. Women authors are the worst. They're awful. They're trash. Virginia Woolf, Charlotte Bronte.
What
Talk
books do
about
they?
trash novels. So hold on. As I'm going on, I'm going, maybe I'm sexist. And immediately after, I saw 3 women authors who were actually badass.
J.K. Rowling? Harry Potter?
J.K. Rowling showed up, who I've heard she's kind of a jackass now because she went
She's
from
so
rich.
wealthy.
Right. So, but her world she created is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll give her that.
Right, and I appreciate that. Mary Shelley, Frankenstein.
Oh, sweet.
That's a kick-ass book, right?
Yeah.
Emily Dickinson. Her poems were always dark but good. Like she's a badass. I can tell.
I think it's always weird when there's only one book by an author that stands out.
The one who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. She was a one-hit author. I forget her name actually. I didn't write it down.
Mary Badham? Is that the right one?
Sure, could be.
I don't know.
Whoever it is a woman. I don't think that's her, but it could. I could be wrong.
It's weird that Harper Lee.
There you go, Harper Lee. Yes,
I don't
that
know
was
where
her
Mary
big
Badham
hit.
came from.
And I always right, and it was. I think that's her only big thing. And then I saw three authors that struck me as like, oh, that's interesting because because I'm a sexist. I totally see
Uh-huh.
things from a man perspective. I love men. Like men are my favorite. I love men. S.E. Hinton, The Outsiders.
What?
S.E. Hinton, The Outsiders.
I don't even know what The Outsiders is.
The book. The
I know it's...
goddamn greasers and pony boy.
No, zero.
You didn't.
I must have skipped that one in
How
English
about
class.
Beverly Cleary? Beverly Cleary.
Clear?
She wrote like stories where like creatures were the main characters. Like I remember a mouse was in the like late 80s, early 90s, like books for kids.
No.
Okay, how about this one? Suze Orman.
Oh. See, that's some financial advice.
Thank you. So,
Susie.
one of my college buddies, Ben, his grandmother was like senile. She was like crazy. She would send him stuff on his birthday. Went like 3 times a year. It wasn't his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
One time, she sent him. We still don't know how he got it. A signed copy of Suze Orman's book. Signed.
Susie.
It's Susie. We always call her Suze because it was Suze.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, because we always said Suze. We didn't know who the hell she was. It was a signed book, and it says, "To Benjamin, my biggest fan, Suze Orman." Where did his grandmother meet Susie Orman? Why did she think Ben was into her books? There were so many questions surrounding this book, but it was in our house, and I was like, Ben, what is it? He's like, my grandma got me a book. And I was like, what is it? Suze Orman? And I was like, who is that? He's like, I don't know. Anyway, for 2 years, it was like, as soon as you walk in our front door, there was like our little desk.
Little pedestal?
And it had Suze Orman book signed and a lamp. And many people asked because she was on the cover doing this. It was like financial advice, and everyone was like, "Oh, do you like this book?" And Ben's like, "I've never read it. I have no clue."
He denied.
So Suze Orman, she sponsored our house. Shout out Suze. We really.
Did you have a little tray with possible money in it so that people could donate to?
We didn't even know it was financial advice for like a year. We had to Google.
Should have read the book.
we should have, but we did not.
Yeah, she has fairly practical advice.
Does she? Okay, I figured it wasn't bad advice. It was just boring advice.
Oh yeah, definitely boring.
All right. Any female? Do you want to do female actresses for 2016, money wise?
Money wise, top grossing. I'm gonna say Jennifer Lawrence is probably up there.
Number one.
Number one. Woo!
Damn, he killed it. You got number two?
Number two. Let me see.
She's
Like
comedian. She's funny. She's funny.
A comedian. Oh, I hate this woman. Then. Blonde? Is she blonde? A little chubby?
Yeah.
Trainwreck?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this one. Can we skip over her?
Okay. I
don't even remember. Amy something?
No, Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, okay. She's okay. I'll allow her.
Yeah, I like her.
Was she in Trainwreck? Right. She wasn't in Trainwreck. Trainwreck was the other one.
Oh, you said Trainwreck.
Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer's the one I don't like.
Amy Schumer.
She's got to be up there. She didn't make the list. Yes.
She made the
International Women's Day, Amy Schumer. You are not involved.
Oh, Trainwreck was that movie. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
With John Cena. Yeah. I actually thought that was pretty funny. Tongue in cheek. Funny.
Yeah. I don't know. She steals everything.
Number 3, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, she's done a lot of nerdy things. She did Ghost in the Shell. And
did she?
Oh, she did it's almost insane. It's like she was naked when she did it, and they superimposed the bodysuit on her because it's so tight. It's ridiculously tight. You just watch that movie and try not to get a boner, and it's just not possible.
Keep that in mind. I got a chastity belt I can send to you, Amazon. We'll see how it works. Jennifer Aniston. Still
going.
The money, dude. Number 4.
I feel like she's a robot. She isn't.
If you get number 5, I will PayPal you $208.
Is she part of Mad Men?
I can't tell you. You might be on
Christina Hendricks?
Ooh, no. It was Fan Bingbing. She's big in China.
Fan Bingbing, huh?
Check her out, dude. Fan Bingbing.
Is she really hot?
I mean, I couldn't tell.
Mentally, I'm really attracted to people's brains. I will say
way to do a podcast with me.
Oh, she's very elegant, refined. She's kind of couth.
Interesting.
She's very couth. You know what? If someone said, "Dan, you're so couth," I think I'd go right at it, right there and then.
bang your hand in front of them?
No, I mean like conjoined
All right.
twins fighting. Like that's how intimate it would
Oh,
be.
okay. I'm sorry. I was confused by that.
Fan
All right,
bing
all right,
bing.
all right. I'm not going further down. Charlize Theron,
Oh,
Amy Adams,
yeah.
Julia Roberts, still on the list. She's 100. Mila Kunis,
Yeah.
and number 10 on the list. You all know her. You all love her. Deepika Padukone. Bollywood.
Deepak. Yeah. I don't even know who that is.
She's an attractive girl. I haven't
Deepak.
seen a lot of Bollywood
Deepak
movies with her.
Chopra?
No. Padukone.
Pat.
Padukone.
Pat.
Padukone.
Oh. Deepak Pada. Oh, okay.
You like her?
You take one good photo and then you make millions. I'm so jealous. Women can
She
do
took
that.
one the goddamn photo. But yeah, but how many women can take a good photo? This is my thing that women have to deal with. Like, there's always one dame or
Every
broad
photo
taking
is
a better.
gorgeous. This is not fair.
Every picture is better than the next.
Yeah, no.
You're going to see if
It's
people taking
insane.
better pictures than you and doing it for free.
I think there's actually genuine pictures in here from like fans, and she's just like, she's got so many. Some people got so many angles, so many features, and it's just like, oh, it's a new feature. Oh man,
Hollywood. I don't know what the competition's like over there.
she's got it all. Not to demean women or
Can you
objectify them, but she's
Can you
gorgeous.
name one woman invention?
Physical attraction. Let me see. But one woman invention. Didn't Marie Curie? Didn't she invent cures or something? She did something.
Damn, you're on the right track. She's my number 2, but she did not invent anything like a cure.
She was yeah. She did a lot in radioactivity.
Oh shit! I put the base away. I was like ready to sit here for 15 minutes. Yeah, radioactivity. She helped split the first atoms and figure out they were dealing with radioactive elements, etc. I think she won a Nobel Prize actually.
Yeah, the crazy thing is that she has a really like a famous name, but there's probably many more people in the group that didn't have very many names. Like my name, if I were to send an email, it would probably go into junk mail. So I probably would not be in the search engine to figure out who was part of the. It was like I cured cancer, but I wasn't famous enough.
Like someone named Grace Steele, if they were on the team,
Yeah,
would get all the
exactly.
credit because they have a full name.
Like they would like take my picture and then put his name under mine, and I'd just be like,
Before I get into, I'm not even getting into other inventors. I'm not going to get into video games. I'm not going to get into athletes.
none of it. You got all that?
Oh, I'm ready to roll.
Oh,
All right,
man.
real quick, athletes. Do you know someone has more Grand Slams than Serena Williams?
Her sister?
No, I picked the better one. Serena's the good one.
Oh, I don't even know her sister. Will she have a better name?
Yeah, Bill's her name. Jesus. Messed me up. Venus Williams.
Venus.
Venus
Oh, that
Williams
is a good name.
but she's not. Right.
Yeah.
Jupiter Rising. is her
No,
name.
it's that skinny white girl. I forget what her name is.
No, it's Steffi Graf.
Really? I don't even know who that is.
Germany. 22 Grand Slams. That's ridiculous.
How come I haven't heard of her?
She's German. And it's probably like 1980s.
Yeah. Oh, she's older.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
they got Lindsey Vonn on there, who I
Is that the other one I'm thinking of?
downhill.
She's sliding. Did she get injured?
Married to Tiger for a while.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. She was really milking this last Olympics. She's trying to.
She did come in third. She medaled.
Yeah, she did. She did something. Yeah.
Now hold on, this is crazy. So I'm watching her event, right?
Uh huh.
And I'm watching. I'm like, she goes and she almost got gold. She like comes in silver, and I'm watching. And in the downhill, like it's the last event, it's the last run for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
She's sitting in the silver area, and there's like 9 people who have left to go.
She's
And I'm
nervous.
like, shit, wouldn't you be?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's the worst spot to be in. I would rather almost go last, like because you can't do anything. You literally ran your run. All you have to do now is hope other girls suck. Like, you know what I mean? That's crazy.
I think they choose their position though, right? So they get
They
to go
do. Oh, they
first.
do. And she picked that
Get softer
because
snow.
right. And I think someone said there was a girl in the competition who followed her in many events and tried to copy her moves and like did better versions of her runs. So her idea was if she went after that girl, but before whatever girl, like she would be able to whatever. There's a mental game going on that I didn't understand. I was like,
too into it.
right. I was like, okay.
Recursive.
Right.
So she was going after the person picked first, then, right? She went after.
Yes. So she had to go after. Right. Anyway, Hope Solo, remember her?
Yep.
Like her.
She's a what, goalie?
Correct.
Yep.
Soccer. Simone Biles. You know, she's just turned 19. Like, she's still young as hell.
Yeah, she's a Houston, but in gymnastics, it's not.
Is she? Wait.
She's Houston-based. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty badass. Check that out.
Yeah.
How about Katie Ledecky? You know who she is? Name sounds familiar.
It's
and
very-
you saw her face.
She's a swimmer.
Swimming.
Yeah.
Good eye, man. This
Yeah.
guy loves women. I think you're a feminist for the new age.
I do support women's rights. I certainly do. You know, it's weird. I don't talk to anybody in my normal day-to-day, and I have very little sources of information, but somehow I know things. I don't know how.
You're an intelligent individual. Probably because you
Listen,
respect women.
I'm focused on women most of the day.
All right, I'm going to go through the list of women comedians. You tell me if you would hit it or split it. Leave.
Oh, okay.
Ready? Just a few. I don't care. Ellen. I know what she would do.
This is like a murder, death, kill. Like, or no, not the other. Well, marry. What's that? Marry, kill.
Okay.
Yeah. You know,
Give it to her.
I think she would be a nice person to talk to. Have a nice little chat. I could get along with her personality.
Now she wouldn't get along with you, but I'm just telling you.
Oh, definitely. No,
Right.
yeah, she would probably think about.
Tina Fey.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, all of that.
Sarah Silverman.
I feel like she'd be like kind of like a, was it nanny? What was it? What was that woman's name? With the laugh, Fran Drescher. She reminds me of Fran Drescher a little bit.
Yeah, she does, but the voice.
The voice is worse on Drescher.
Okay, good. I think you're going to also say, I'll let you know. Amy Schumer, who you hate. Okay. Amy Poehler.
She might be okay. Parks and Rec. I will give it to her.
Yeah. Wanda Sykes.
You know, it's funny because like she's a comedian. She's had a lot of jokes that I've listened to, but I don't remember any of them.
No, I mean, well, can you name any of the other people's jokes? I mean, really.
Tina Fey, because I kind of have a thing for her. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I'm not gonna bring it back to anybody in the previous area of the list, but
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig, she's kind of in the same area of Tina Fey.
Yeah, that's right. The blonde and short. I got you. Kathy Griffin. You like her? You hate her? You leave her?
I feel like she's unmarriable. Like she would really annoy you after time because she's got the same mannerisms and they're loud. They're really.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Janine Garofalo.
She's like did she do the voice of Daria? Is she the voice of Daria?
Is she?
I feel like she might have. Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Check this out. Now I'm curious. Interesting.
She would be the perfect analog to Daria.
Interesting.
Oh, I don't see her name in the
All right.
No, maybe not.
Wrong. Get it up. I only got two other people, so Betty White. Would you give it to her?
I mean, if given the opportunity, you're kind of forced
yeah.
to. The galaxy would frown upon you, since that's how old she is.
And last but not least, Roseanne Barr.
Oh, God. What? What was the question?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Repeat the question. And finally, did you actually do any physical study on women and men's brains? Physiological differences. Like factual ones. Not just like, women are better nurturers.
I mean, over the years, there
most
are...
results show that I want to say 90% of our preconceptions are cultural. Did you hear that?
So like the language thing, women are better at language than men. Is that
So what
disproved?
they came up with in the most recent study, which is actually still being unfolded, it happened in 2017. I want to say it's Harvard. I didn't actually write down. I just read it. They did 500,000 people, which is a good base number. Most
Yeah,
studies
it's a
are
good
like
number.
1,000 people, 8,000 people.
Yeah.
500,000. Again, you're going to get liars, outliers, people who didn't answer the
And
question properly,
liars.
whatever.
Be liars.
Be knighted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was my word. I never brought it up. I was trying to bring it full circle and I didn't brought it up.
Sorry, you tried.
Anyway, um, women in general have a bigger hippocampus. Hippocampus.
Oh, yeah?
Hippocampus. Excuse me.
Hippocampus.
It's
Hippocampus.
the part of the brain often resolved with memorization.
Really?
Names,
Direct.
I think names and stuff like that, but I'm being prejudiced right there.
Well, I mean, generally they do know names better than I do, but I'm not very good at names.
Right, I'm not sure.
Emotion, too. Center of emotion, memory, and nervous system.
Well, check out this. Men have bigger amygdalas.
Amygdala.
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 Oh, okay. Is that how it's pronounced?
I think
Pronounced?
so. Amygdala.
Okay. What's amygdala responsible
The problem
for?
is when you say it's aggressor, right? It's like I thought it was.
I actually read emotion and something else, but check it out.
I thought of Star Wars, Princess Amidala, experiencing
what I
of
was-
emotions. It's only
Which is weird,
almond-shaped.
right? Isn't that crazy? Almond-shaped, correct.
I thought that
Um,
that drove like reaction to emotion,
It might.
but
It-
I could be wrong. I'm not a
Right.
neuroscientist. We're gonna have to bring one
It
on.
also, do you know any neuroscientists?
I know a couple.
A podcast?
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring.
Do you recommend it?
We're gonna have to write that down for the future.
Okay, you're not going to recommend it right now. It's too early.
It doesn't have a name yet.
Well, never mind.
It's beginning.
So this study is not conclusive enough. It literally has to be unfolded more. They want to do more tests on it, do more whatever on it.
Mhm.
They probably run it through 1,000 different databases, 1,000 different algorithms. What they came up with is that there's slight physical differences between the brains of men and women, but most of the time, like men tend to be better at language, women tend to be better at this.
Is it
caregiving.
language, or
But
do you
there's
make that up?
but there's too much overlap from the others.
Oh yeah.
It's like they find that this many women are better at this, but a good portion of men are actually better at this too, and a good portion. So they find that it's very mixed. There's no concrete evidence. Most people who find the evidence are looking for the evidence, like saying like men are always better at so and so math. Look here, I see several men better at math. One thing that is interesting is actually disease. So men and women are susceptible to diseases at different
Differently?
rates. Different. Oh yes. Did you know autism spectrum disorder affects men 5 times as much?
So, autism itself, or like a
Autism's
subset?
ASD, which is autism spectrum, which is I think it's the most commonly diagnosed autism. Like, don't quote me.
It is strange that the people that I've met in life that were autistic were mostly men.
Interesting, right? They think it's because men have extra chromosomes because of the whole XY thing.
We got spares because we're prepared for the future. Yeah.
We sure are, but we also have some extra baggage apparently.
Yeah.
And the way I think I read is it Alzheimer's affects the brain is different in men and women.
Interesting.
Right, because it's a different pattern.
I will say also that so when a woman has a baby, the baby
that
generates.
affects. Well, if men could have babies, it would affect them that way, but they can't.
Yeah.
So it only affects women in X way. And
Yeah.
what is that way?
So when women have babies, they form obviously a child inside of them that has stem cells. The stem cells are not contained within the child; they actually get spread within the woman. So I'm supposing here, and this is on a reach, that maybe some part of the birthing process or being pregnant allows you to gain some of those stem cells and then maybe elongate your life. There's a possibility that there's some sort of relation between the two, that symbiotic relationship that extends life.
It's possible. But I will say, having children ruins your life.
Painful and exhausting and destroys your body.
And
Thank
takes years
you.
off your life.
Yeah, thank
so
you for
really,
doing that for us.
Is it evening out? I mean, really?
I don't know. So you're going to go into the social roles where you can't even... I guess now it's getting similar and similar that you can compare men and women. It's hard to focus when you're not looking at me.
Is it? I was just curious.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
A little bit. I forgot what I was going to say, too. Shit.
See, I messed you up big time.
You
Look at
certainly
that.
did.
The power of the mind.
You forgot what you were going to say, too.
I did.
You were done.
Messed me up. Well,
Women last longer. What were you going to say? They're more emotional.
do you know why? This is actually a proven fact. Most Jewish women outlive their husbands.
Only Jewish women?
Yeah,
Or
this is the
study
thing. Like, Jewish
focused on
husbands will
Jews?
die before their wives. This is the thing. You know why?
No, is there actually a definitive answer?
Because they want to.
There's a joke that goes along with this in there.
That's the joke!
Because they want to. They want to outlive their...
No. Most Jewish men die before their wives. Do you know why?
Oh, because they want to. The men. I was thinking about the women's side.
Yeah, I said it wrong at first. So I corrected it by
Yeah.
the time you caught on, but it was too late. You're
I
fixed
killed
on
your
the one.
joke. I killed it.
Anyway, no. I have a lot
Bury
of
it
Jewish
6
friends.
feet
That's
under.
their
Never going to
favorite
bring
joke.
that back.
So it's okay. I'm fine.
The one study that I did find interesting about men and women growing up as children, like giving them toys, just letting them roam around a room and letting them pick pretty much between like dolls and trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So female babies will pick...
I almost made an autism joke, but go ahead.
Female babies will pick between most lifelike toys, like a majority of the time. It's like 60-something, 70% of the time. Whereas male children will pick between like inanimate objects most of the time.
Really?
Yeah. So like it's inherent inside of our genetics or our brains to be wired towards something else. So like you're
Now, do you
fingering
think
that bass right
we
now.
can influence? Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you think we can influence genetics?
You mean
Like over years of breeding. Like men are always hunters. Men are always hunters. Do you think if women were always hunters, our genetics would change?
so if you took away the necessity over time, people would become more and more alike?
I don't know. Do you think? I have no idea.
I think
It's possible.
So. I think so, yeah. But again, we would have to be able to give birth to children. I think that's the main differentiator.
Right, and we can't.
Yeah. Yet.
Yet. Damn it! Had that.
So I will say that I think I'm a sapiosexual.
I knew it!
Yeah.
Your
Really?
parents kept saying it.
Yeah. They must have known from an early age that I was really attracted to someone's mind and how it works. And
Is that why you do the podcast with me?
I guess maybe part of it. I don't know. But again, I'm going to bring it back to Danica Patrick, who's on Said Person's podcast.
Damn, we didn't bring her up tonight.
Yeah.
On Women's Night, International Women's Night.
Yeah, she's the female driver, the one and only female driver in NASCAR that actually has won a race.
I feel like there were that one races.
I don't know if she won a race, but she won like a season or whatever you call it. Which don't diminish it. Don't diminish it. She's still done plenty. But she's very chill.
Mentioning your knowledge.
Yeah, through the podcast, she's very chill, relaxed, and she was atypical. So you would think that she'd really care about driving in cars and all that stuff, and she was totally like, yeah, I don't really care. They give me a car, I drive it, it's free. And I was like, man, I love that woman because she's cheap. She's super
But it all boils down to
value oriented, baby. Oh yeah, turn me on. I love it when you save money.
I think it's the longest panders we ever had.
You think so? We're up to a minute 15. If you want to multiply it by 60.
I think you'd be wrong in that number. Because an hour is based on a 60-minute procedure, and
Mm-hmm.
you're saying multiplied by 115. It would have to be by 108 or something? I don't know.
I don't try to do math. This is my third 2.5. I'm 2.5 deep.
I'm several deep, and I'm gonna say, hey. What I will say is that
Oh shit!
our
Second
friend
page. Dill,
is Bill Dan.
dilly, dilly, dilly.
He says that when he plays video games,
Oh no.
he'll play as any character except the female, right?
Hmm. Sometimes I switch it up just
He's
to confuse
sexist.
people.
Whatever. I listen.
I like the catfish. It's okay.
Whatever you want to do. He says when he plays Portal, because the main character is a female,
It's
actually.
a robot.
No, the main character, not Gladys.
Hmm.
The one you are.
Oh, I guess you can select. Yeah, because you're.
No, no, no. You're always you. It's a woman with stilts for legs. So she takes no fall damage. Trust me on this. Her
Okay, I
name is
trust you.
Shell or Shelly or Chell, something like that. Anyway,
It's one of those
anytime
ambiguous
he
names.
plays Portal, he selects the game and he's mad he can't pick a woman. He just puts the controller down and leaves it. Sometimes he'll leave it for 5 days, 6 days. Doesn't even get past the first level.
Hmm.
So I said, that's ridiculous. What did you used to do when you played Metroid? He said, I got all the way to the end.
Before
And
realizing
she
it was
takes
one.
off her helmet and it's a woman. Like, surprise, Samus.
Yep.
He had power button with his Nintendo. Turned it right off. Said, I don't need this shit.
The finish line was right there. You just need to walk one step.
You said
No.
no.
No, thank you.
And in one hand, I respect his dedication, but on the other, like, dude, wake up. It's the 1990s, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh.
I wish we could all take a step back and think about the 90s, you know?
Yeah, let's play a little riff.
I'm not even playing a 90s riff. I was just
Yeah, no.
playing a riff.
I thought you were gonna go right into it. It's gonna be fluid.
Nah, I was like, what's the Seinfeld riff? Because that would have been perfect to play right there, right?
Yeah. It's a shame we can't relive this moment and do it right.
No, I don't know the Seinfeld riff. I apologize, folks.
So I think that brings us to the end of our episode tonight. And Nick has the classic saying.
We like you a lot, folks. We like you a lot, folks. Holy
You're-
smokes, folks.
Holy, yeah, he ruined it, but it's okay.
Good.
I allow him. Oh, he's fading away now. He's fading quick. He's, yeah. Look like a vengeful gopher. Have a good night.